Good morning. Good Saturday morning. Glad to have you with us here. Next couple hours on Sports Talk. David Keever, Mike Powell, Brett Keever here to bring you up to date in the world of sports. I was just thumbing through some things here. I lost my train of thought. I'm trying to figure out exactly what it was.
Get back on the train.
I was looking. I need to be on the train. Just depends on which train. Don't ever want on that train.
How about that long black train?
Well,
No, you don't want on that one.
Don't want on that one. Don't want on that. Don't want to go to the train station on Yellowstone either, for any reason.
The midnight train to Georgia.
Yeah.
It depends. What's going on there in Georgia at the time?
The Masters, huh?
The Masters. They host a lot of big time football games.
Yeah,
Mhm.
National Championship. was
National
just there.
Championship for one. They'll host Super Bowls occasionally. Yeah, a midnight train to Georgia wouldn't be too bad unless there's something wrong with going on the midnight train. But just reflecting, we this is our first weekend without football since
Yeah.
when?
I'm starting to feel
Early
it, too.
August, mid-August, late August.
Starting to feel withdrawal.
Yeah, I know it.
I mean, I flip from one meaningless college basketball game to another. And I pay no attention to the NBA till April. So,
And it is Duke, Carolina,
yeah,
Saturday.
Saturday.
And it just don't seem like the hype. You know, it's just not as meaningful as it was maybe, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. I don't know how far back you have to go before it meant
But you're saying it doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Carolina's 13-8 or just kind
and you're telling me they're not going to win tonight?
No, they very definitely could win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would expect them to play their absolute best.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
in this
shoot the
game
eyes
tonight.
out of it. Yeah, they're going to. Mhm.
And one reason it's a big rivalry. Another reason I think they have a good chance to win is they obviously these quad wins that we talk about.
Mhm.
You can't get one in the ACC, right?
Very hard.
Unless you beat Duke.
Unless you beat Duke.
And I'm talking about whatever the upper tier.
Yeah.
How are they graded? What is the level of quad?
I don't know exactly
Level
how
one?
it works.
1, 2, 3.
Is that what it
yeah,
is? Just-
something like that. 4.
Butch will tell us he's all about the quad.
And the pods, but yeah, Carolina desperately needs this because I mean they're kind of, from what I hear, last 4 in, first 4 out. I don't know, but they're kind of in that bubble thing.
Yep. I'm amazed. You know me. I don't know. For some reason, I don't watch as much college basketball till football starts winding down. It seems like, and of course that's past us. It's been winding down.
It's been winding down.
But I still haven't watched that much. But I'm amazed at when I go back and look at scores, how many 1 point, 2 point, 3 point games Carolina
they've lost
has played in.
all their losses have been by 3 or less.
Right.
I believe.
And a lot of their wins.
By 3 or less.
In the conference anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of their wins have been by 3 or
Yeah,
less.
they had to
Didn't
went
go
to
through
over-
the same thing just this
Yeah.
week?
Went to overtime to beat Boston College. It was one of those games.
That was last Saturday,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
last Saturday.
And then they lost one real close this week.
They lost by 8 to Pitt.
Was it 8?
Yeah. Before Boston College, they had back-to-back 1 point losses.
Mm-hmm. And here's a team that has one of the toughest schedules in the country, guys. I mean, they played Auburn, they played Kansas. They play, they played
What's their
the top
record?
dogs. 13-8. It was
13 to 9.
13-9. No, 13-9.
They'll get in.
I think you're right.
Yep, they'll get in.
Yeah, their losses early were to Kansas, Auburn, Michigan State, Alabama,
Right.
Florida.
Yeah.
Those are all top 10 or 15 teams.
Yeah.
So. And the tournament committee is human, and they want North Carolina, Duke, Kansas.
Yeah.
Your blue blood teams, Kentucky. They want everything they do to be able to try and get those teams in the tournament because
those are your blue bloods, and they want them in.
And like I've told you, Mike and Brett, when it gets down to it, I want to see those teams in the final for that. I want to see the blue bloods in the final four.
The upsets are good in the first and second round.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys agree? I mean,
they are. They're great
for a round or two, maybe 3. Maybe get to the Sweet 16.
Unless it happens to your team.
Yeah, this happens to my team.
Then it's not so fun. Not so
Which
fun
has
to watch.
happened to Duke a lot.
And it's going to happen to. I mean, it's going to happen to somebody again. You almost know a 12 is going to beat a 5, right? I mean, that seems to be the most popular, and that's obviously not as big. We have had 2 16s beat a 1 now, and that took forever to get to. Right? Was Virginia not the villain?
They were the first one.
They were the
not
first
the villain,
one.
but
We've had 2 now.
Yeah, Virginia was the first one, and that was the Mount St. Mary's of Chicago, or was it Loyola Chicago, or who was that?
It was University of Maryland.
Milwaukee something, wasn't it? Or Maryland, Baltimore County?
Maryland,
I don't
Maryland,
remember.
Baltimore County.
Okay.
I think it was Maryland, Baltimore County. Yeah.
That means it's a big upset when we can't even remember the name of the team.
Or it's
that knocked them off at that time. That means that is a big upset. So, I'm amazed. Who was the other? Which other number one?
The other one was Fairleigh Dickinson beat Purdue.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
And that's Purdue with Zach Edney.
Edie. Yeah.
Edie, his junior year.
Yep. Jason has sent me an explanation of quad system.
That's the man to go to.
Yep. Carolina has trouble closing games. In their 9 losses, they have had the lead at the last TV timeout. Wow. In 7 of those games. Why is that? Why is that? I mean,
yeah, that's a pattern. I mean,
I'm not going to be. My first thought is coaching. I mean, it just comes to my mind. I'm not saying it. I'm nothing on Hubert. I don't want Hubert out of there. But I'm just saying that's the first thing that comes to your mind is when you're not being able to put people away down the stretch. Now you got to make 3 free throws. You can't turn the ball over and things like that. And the coach really can't control that part. But
for one thing, R.J. Davis has gone downhill. He's only shooting 30% from 3.
He'll shoot 75 tonight.
No, yeah, he's going to shoot that tonight in Durham. But I'm just saying, for the season, he's been way off from his normal thing.
We'll go through this real quick. He says quad 1 wins are home games against top 30 teams. Home games against top 30 teams. Well, they have to be home games.
Shouldn't it be a road game? Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Home games against quad 30 teams, neutral games against top 50, and away games against top 75. Okay, now I know. That's just yeah. So you can go all the way to a number 75 and get a quad 1 win if it's on the road.
I wonder how many the
Already
ACC
puzzled.
has in the top 75.
That's a good question.
Now, this is based on Ken Palm, Ken Palm is one of the things, but
What in the world are you talking about?
you know Ken Pomeroy's ratings.
No, I don't.
No.
I sure don't.
Well,
Ken Palm.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard of napalm.
And he's asking what
In the morning.
what poll they use to determine the top
Yeah, that's what I
75
would-
is
yeah.
what,
Yeah,
what he's asking. There's,
I don't know.
I mean, the AP does the top 25. Coaches polls at 25.
Yeah.
There's a RPI that
I'm guessing RPI would be my
Yeah, RPI.
I would guess
Okay.
goes all the way.
RPI taking
To the last
everything,
team.
everything at every level.
Okay, RPI. Yeah.
So let's see, quad 2 home games against ranked home games against teams ranked 31 through 75. You know, it just basically goes on down the list. The farther down, the lower the quad win could possibly be. Importance for the selection, though, it says here, the NCAA committee heavily considers a team's quad wins when evaluating their tournament resume, with more quad 1 wins signifying the stronger case for a bid. Yep. And how many did you tell me, Jason, that Carolina has quad wins, or do they? Maybe I'm trying to remember. Because I thought that was discussed maybe a little bit last week. He says this is based on the net ranking system. Net ranking system. Can you able to pull that up, Brett?
Yeah,
The
net
net
ranking
ranking.
system.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that means. Net ranking system.
Nope. Not the nets. but
Not today. No.
because theirs would probably be somewhere near the bottom of the basket, right? If it were the nets. It is basketball time of year. That is for sure. Basketball is taking over, and Brett was telling me there was a couple upsets last night in high school basketball on the local front. We'll get into those in a little bit. It is that dreaded off week, that gap week between the Super Bowl, between the championship games and the Super Bowl. And will you flip to the Pro Bowl at all?
No,
I won't either. I used to. Sometimes I would just flip just to flip and look and see what was going on. But now I don't even. It's so dull that I don't even try and remember.
Yeah.
I don't even try and remember that it's on there. It's not important to me at all. I think they should just have. I know the lineman would be useless, but they should just have a flag football game, and have something to play for anyway. Maybe something competitive. Maybe they could do 2 flag football games, and one of them was just linemen. Mm-hmm. How about that?
Yeah,
one of them be just linemen.
So in the net rankings, Carolina is number 41 right now.
Okay.
So if Duke beats them tonight, that's a quad 2 win because they're not in the top 30. So Duke doesn't have much to gain at all.
No.
And Carolina's got,
lots to gain.
Their biggest game of the season so far.
Well, Duke's trying to get a number 1 seed, though.
Yeah.
And a loss, I think a loss would hurt that in any. I mean, it's going to hurt you because you're losing to a quad what team?
Quad 2.
2.
So, to me, that's something to gain. I know it don't really look that way, but it's something to gain by winning that game just because of what the loss would do to you. And they're also looking to try and stay perfect, right?
In the ACC.
They don't have a loss, right?
No, people are talking about them running the table, but
that's hard to do.
No, that's not going. I don't think that's going to happen.
I mean, they got to go to Clemson. Where else?
And they could easily lost to NC State.
Well, they got Carolina twice.
Oh, yeah.
Got Carolina twice.
Could have lost that Wake. Pull that one out.
Easily. It could easily lost that Wake. It's just too hard.
Yeah.
And
the road games, it's tough.
I'll say this too: I think if you do that, it puts more pressure on you as a team down the stretch.
We shouldn't even be talking about it. They probably are.
No,
I doubt the team is.
I'd say not until they are like 16 or 17-0.
Yeah,
that's when you can
never
start.
Happened
that's when you can start
ACC,
talking about it.
Mm-hmm. Has that ever happened in the ACC?
I think it has.
Not 20-0. Because that's only been they've only been playing 20 games for. Is this the first time playing 20?
I think Carolina went undefeated, like maybe at 16.
Duke did that.
99 Duke did.
Okay,
but it wasn't a 20-game conference schedule, right?
Will it ever get up to more than 20 games?
Don Rebel says is the Pro Bowl not 7-on-7 flag football?
It might be.
Yeah, I don't even know.
So what do they do with the linemen? Spectators
throw it to them. I don't know.
Throw it to them.
They go to the beach.
Yeah. They stand in the way. They just well, if it's 7-on-7, they can't even stand in the way. It sounds like they're not even on the. That's how long it's been since I watched.
Yeah,
I
have no interest in the Pro Bowl.
No, I haven't. I would like to know this from our listeners this morning, and from you guys too. Like Kansas City, dislike Kansas City, or neutral?
I'm neutral. I don't dislike them.
Yeah. It is hard to dislike.
How do you like fun? I mean, Patrick Holmes plays the game with such joy and bravura. I mean, you got to like him.
Well, the conspiracies come out, about the calls. He gets way more calls, and it's been proven that on paper that he gets way more calls. You can go look. I think it's like 2/3 of the calls go in his favor. In those games.
I saw a couple of those, like in the.
But go back and look at some of the other quarterbacks through the years, and you're going to see the exact same thing, right? I mean, Brady had his share of getting calls as well, but it just makes me wonder why the hate. I mean, I know why the hate, because they're winning all the time.
Yeah.
Well, and I think now the whole spectacle of Taylor Swift.
That don't help.
Being involved and the TV, TV's cameras being on her every time something happens in the game. And
although I've noticed,
but that doesn't bother me.
No,
I like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they've been going to her less in the skybox. I mean, they don't do it as much as they once did. I was tracking them. I don't remember over one or two times that they showed her after an on-the-field play, but maybe I'm wrong. But it didn't seem like she's being seen as much in the broadcast.
And it's not her fault.
No.
No.
That's, I'm sure there's a prop bet out there for next Sunday. How many times will she be on camera?
Well, Travis Kelce had 2 catches for like 12 yards last
Yeah,
week. So that was part of why they didn't show her as much.
He wasn't that great a factor.
Is he nearing retirement?
I think so, yeah.
You think it could be this year?
It could be.
If they win it.
I mean, I don't see why. I would if I was him and you win 3 in a row. And was he 35?
That would
Great.
that'd pretty much be the perfect time.
Perfect time to.
I had this thought the other day. Who's Jason Kelce pulling for?
Yeah, I know.
No, man.
I have an idea. My guess is he's pulling for the Eagles. That's still his team.
Me too.
And Travis has his share. He's got plenty.
Man, but don't you think he wished he would have stayed one more year with this great? I mean, they got
Is this just the first year of retirement?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got the best roster in football. I think it's his first year.
Well, here's the question: are they better?
I think it is too.
This time against the Chiefs than they were in 2022.
Yeah.
I say they are better.
The Eagles are loaded.
They have the better roster.
They got the best roster,
but they don't have the better quarterback.
No.
No, and they don't have the better coach either.
Right.
No.
Yep.
But they do have probably the best running back in football. Well, this year anyway.
Okay. So here's the magic question.
Yeah.
Who do you want to win?
Oh, the Chiefs. That's not even a question for me. I wouldn't pull for
neutral.
any of the NFC East teams.
I'm just neutral.
Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. I want the Eagles to win because I'm going to tell you why. I like the history of the NFL not ever having a team win it 3 years in a row.
You want that to stay intact?
I want it to stay like it is.
Okay.
2's fine because we got, maybe 5 teams that have done.
Bunch of
Pittsburgh did it twice.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Miami did it. Dallas did it.
Yeah. San Francisco.
New England. I don't know if San Francisco did or not. That's a good question because they've won 5, but I don't know if any of theirs ever came back to back.
I thought in the late 80s they did, but they might not.
Might have been. But there's been plenty. But the 3 in a row hasn't happened, and I'd just like to see that. It won't because I want to see it stay intact, but it won't.
I just can't pull for Cowboys, Eagles, or Giants. I'm not pulling. I'm not pulling for any of those.
I know. I understand that. Butch says he likes Kansas City, especially Andy Reid. And I do too.
Yeah,
I do too. It's not like one of those things that's going to bother me if Kansas City wins.
Yeah,
but I would just like to see the.
It won't really bother me if the Eagles win it, but I'm not pulling for them.
Nobody's ever played 3 in a row, right? Nobody's ever been to 3 Super Bowls in a row. Yeah, only 2. So now we got Kansas City in their 3rd straight.
So
and
not
is
only
it 4 out of 5?
not only that is what is it? 5 out of the last 6. I mean, that they've
been to. I know. Yeah, they lost one.
That. Yeah, they lost one to
Tampa
Bay.
Brady.
Mm-hmm.
the one they lost is to Brady.
And they didn't make it when the Bengals played the Rams.
That's right.
Which was, I guess,
That's
3 years ago.
Yeah. Yep, that was a
so
great,
did they make the
Super
2
Bowl.
before that?
I don't know. That's just research we'll have to do. I do have you guys a couple different questions today for Super Bowl.
How many generational quarterbacks you think are in the NFL? I read something about that the other day. I'm talking about generational. I can only think of one.
Rodney reminds us, surely he don't think we didn't know this. I'm just kidding. The Bills went to 4 straight and lost them all.
Yeah.
And lost them all to the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
2 to Dallas, 1 to the Giants. The Giants one's got it started. I always wonder what would have happened if that field goal would have went through. Would the Bills won 4 in a row? Would it have changed their luck?
I know.
San Francisco did win back-to-back.
Did they?
All this says is Super Bowl 23 and 24. They beat Cincinnati and Denver.
Okay, that is the Montana days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go back to the Montana days. San Francisco, a lot like Dallas, they haven't been in a long time. I mean, they've been, they haven't won it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've
They have
been there
been
quite a bit.
But they haven't won it since they beat the Chargers, right?
That's right.
And that was I don't even remember what year that would have been.
But they've been there. They got there with Harbaugh, right?
Yep.
And they've gotten there with who's the current coach?
Yeah, Kansas City's been to
Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
5 out of the last 6.
It's Buffalo.
Oh, was that not who we're talking about? Is that not the one you wanted to know?
No, the current San Francisco coach.
Oh,
Shanahan.
Shanahan, yeah.
I started to say Schottenheimer, but we all know where Schottenheimer landed
Yeah.
this week. So
That was another thing we could talk about.
Jason says, I want to see Kansas City three-peat. What's crazy is the Mahomes is not 30 years old and will start his 5th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Also, Mahomes is second in playoff wins with 17. Yeah, I heard that the other day. That's amazing. He's already second in playoff wins. Now, you play more playoff games today. That helps a little. He just surpassed Joe Montana and now only trails Brady, who has – want to guess how many Brady has?
Playoff wins?
Yeah. Mahomes has 17, and he's second.
I think I saw it. So I'm not
22
gonna
or
say.
3? 40
I think it's 30-something.
35.
35.
35 playoff wins for
Still a
Brady.
pretty lofty
If you mess
figure.
with him, he'll come back and
Yeah.
get some more. So
He
if
might be
threaten his record.
the Raiders quarterback this year.
Yeah. You know, all the talk for a while was Belichick not coaching in the NFL, not going to be able to catch Shula. How close is Andy Reid?
Yeah, where does he stand on the
I
all-time
mean, that's something.
win
That's
list?
something.
Yeah.
I heard about it a little bit this week, but I never heard the numbers, and I never looked them up. Lenny goes back to basketball here. North Carolina is 20-30 in quad games over the last 4 seasons. He says the pattern is over 4 years. I'm not saying coaching, but this is a common factor in the 4-year process. So
It says Andy Reid's
20 and
4th in regular season wins.
it says he's 4th in regular season wins,
Yeah, right behind Belichick.
and Hallis would be second.
Yeah.
Okay,
And Shula all time.
so
So Reid is
how many?
Shula won 328,
Mm-hmm.
and Andy Reid has won 273.
3 years?
So, well, if they keep going 15-2, yeah,
Won't take long. He puts me in the mind of somebody. I don't know. If he won 3 in a row, he might retire.
Yeah,
Right?
very possibly.
yeah.
Right. Okay, Rodney, you're throwing out your
66.
Knowledge there, or your knowledge off the computer. Let's see, back-to-back Super Bowls. Packers. We about named them all.
Yeah.
Packers, Dolphins, Steelers twice. Yes, 49ers, Cowboys, Broncos, Patriots. Did not mention the Broncos. Patriots and Chiefs. You know what I think about the Broncos? What every coach except for Jim Harbaugh in the AFC West has been to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Help me out with who they are. Andy Reid.
Well, Harbaugh's been with the
Harbaugh?
49ers.
Ben hadn't won it. That's what I
Yeah.
meant. Has not won a Super Bowl. Reid and Sean Payton and
Who's the Raiders coach?
the new one, Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Yep. That's how you get to that. It wasn't that way till this past week.
Yeah, we need to
But-
grade the recent hires. Give them a grade on those, maybe.
Well, that's hard to do with me.
Yeah.
I mean, you go ahead. But I don't know how to grade coordinators really until we've given them some.
Well, that's true. Then
I
they hire the
mean,
coordinator.
I would say the Raiders did great,
Yeah, that's what everybody's saying.
but I would also say the Jets did great.
Yeah, people are
and
giving
Aaron
them
Glenn,
good marks.
But we don't know. And it's just like the Ben Johnson that went to the Bears. When,
they're giving him good marks.
if anybody's got his work cut out for him, it's Ben Johnson because of the Bears' history.
Yeah.
They just cannot get over the hump. They can't get out of their own way.
Right. So
So-
you think that's the biggest job, biggest task, challenge facing a new coach?
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears.
Schottenheimer might have
He's got a big job.
a task too
Yeah.
because you got to do what Jerry wants first
Yeah.
and go from there.
Was that the most unimaginative hire I mean, Dallas.
Mike,
going with the
you're about to
offensive
unplug
coordinator.
yourself with your shoes, okay?
Right. Am I still on? Yeah, I'm still on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you had the cords all tangled up there.
Mhm. Tangled up in blue.
Tangled up in black and gray.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Ned says, in my youth, okay, let's stop right there. That's a long time ago, Ned.
Youth.
Yeah. In my youth, Green Bay won the NFL championship and first 2 Super Bowls, 3 straight seasons, during 3 straight seasons. But they did not use the name Super Bowl until the 3rd championship game. So I guess tough luck for Green Bay. All right, let me ask you this for Green Bay. Did they beat an AFL/AFC team
Yeah.
in those?
They did.
Okay, who?
Kansas City was one.
That was a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Oh, that's
That was
right.
called a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. That was called.
Did
a
they
Super
beat
Bowl.
an AFC team in the ones that were only called championship games? Because I thought they changed the Super Bowl when they merged.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why it's a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Detroit has won many
Oh yeah.
NFL championships, multiple. Maybe not many, but they have won multiple NFL championships. Chicago and New York Giants probably lead the way in NFL championships. But the reason they're Super Bowls now is because the 2 leagues merged,
That's right.
and that's when they started calling them that. And
Okay, who were the combatants in the first Super Bowl?
well, that was Green Bay,
and
Kansas City,
Okay.
and then Green Bay and the Raiders.
And Green Bay won that one too.
Mhm.
Right.
Like we had a
It wasn't until year 3 that the AFC prevailed with Broadway Joe. Right.
we had you just and then who was after that? That's when it starts getting tricky.
Yeah.
After the
Wow.
Jets beat the Colts, it starts getting tricky. And
Yeah.
I want to say the Vikings were involved like in 4 of the next 6 or something like
Yeah.
that. I heard this. The Vikings went to 4 Super Bowls in the early 70s, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Early to mid 70s. Never led.
Yeah.
Not only did they not win, they never led.
No.
They never had a lead in either one of those
Hey.
4 Super Bowls.
Want to know how many points they scored?
The Vikings?
7. They lost 23-7, 24-7, 16-6, and 32-14. So 14 was the most.
Was
they
Sam
scored.
Darnold the quarterback in all 4 of those? Because come crunch time, he struggled a little bit. He looked great throughout most of the regular season, but not so much in week.
Did y'all see
week
how
18.
Pat Riley can make some money if the Chiefs win this Super Bowl? He trademarked 3-peat
He did
many years ago. I don't know if it was in the 80s or 90s.
with the Lakers.
With the Lakers, yeah, and Kobe Bryant.
No, it was before that.
Yeah, it had to be before that.
He trademarked
because-
it before that.
Well, I guess it didn't have to be.
Well, no, it says
because
he
the
won,
Bulls won 3 in a row, didn't they?
and he won money, or he made money off of that when the Bulls did it. So it had to be before that. But yeah, he trademarked the term 3-peat. So anything that gets, I guess, printed or anytime that's used,
Wow.
It-
He gets royalty.
he gets paid.
Jason wants to boast a little bit for you and him, Brett. He says the NFC East is the only division with all 4 teams having Super Bowl titles. So,
Yep.
yep. Some of these poor divisions have teams in them that'll never. It'll be hard for them to get. Let's see, how close is the AFC South where the Panthers belong? The Panthers have played in 2, right? Mike's asleep.
No, the Saints and
Saints have
Bucks
won,
have won.
and the Bucks have won.
Yeah. 3 total, right?
Okay. And who am I leaving out?
Falcons.
Falcons.
They've been to 2.
I'll get in trouble for leaving out the Falcons. Let's see. Good morning, STG. Who do you have in tonight's game? I'm taking Duke by 15.
Ooh. Big time.
Okay, Monty, you and I will bet a Coke on that. Duke is not going to win by 15.
I've already put money on Carolina. No, so it's a win-win.
And see, we're diehard Duke fans, and we're doubting whether Duke will win this game.
Because of the spread, it's a big payout. If you just put money on Carolina straight up, so
Yeah.
You can't tell me they're not going to play their best game tonight.
Yeah.
They're going to play their
So
best
well.
game tonight. I mean, that's just clockwork. It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Green Bay. This is from Mike Painter. Looks like Green Bay beat the Cleveland Browns 23-12 in the championship game before the first Super Bowl. So the final one to win. The final one to win was Green Bay. Green Bay, they won quite a bit under Lombardi in those days. I mean, there's no doubt they were a dynasty.
Oh yeah.
In those days. Yeah.
They beat Cleveland before the merger for the final.
Poor old
NFL.
Cleveland made it to the championship game before the Super Bowl, and now has missed. How many Super Bowls are we in right now? What number are we at?
Never
it's
been.
59.
59, and they have not been to one.
I wonder if Mike knows who the quarterback was for that Cleveland team. It's going back there.
Oh my goodness.
Mm.
What was the name back then
Yeah.
for the quarterback of the Browns? Oh man,
It's going back to what, early 60s? Yeah.
Yeah,
mid
but
to
Was
you
it
and
like
I- you and I should
64?
know it, Mike. Is
I
it not
know.
a popular name? Is it not like
Man.
It's not Bernie Kosar.
No. Why do I keep saying Sid Luckman? That can't be right.
He was a Washington, wasn't he?
Okay.
Was that was Jim Brown
Bobby
the
Lane.
star of that team? Was
Bobby
that
Lane was Detroit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jim Brown was the guy.
Jim Brown was the guy, no doubt
Yeah.
about that. He was the guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Somebody's going to have to tell us who that. Okay, if this is the case, Lenny, I don't feel so bad because I would have never gotten it.
Frank?
He says Milt Plum might have been Milt
Plum.
Plum.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been Milt
Vaguely
Plum.
remember that. Milt Plum.
I don't even remember
Well, here's
that
a
name.
name I found. Frank Ryan. You remember that one?
I've heard it. Frank Ryan.
I've heard the name Frank Ryan, but it could not go back that far.
Milt Plum, that goes way back. You know.
Ned says the NFL merged June of '66. Green Bay won first two championships after the merger. Okay, so
Yeah.
they did already merge, and then they
Yeah.
changed it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So should we redo all the books and put Green Bay two more,
Well,
all the record
I
books,
think.
and say this was a Super Bowl?
well,
I don't know what made them. I'm glad we have it, but I don't know what made them switch
yeah.
to Super Bowl. So.
It could have just still been NFL championship.
Yep. Jason says the state of North Carolina will be well represented in the Super Bowl. For the Eagles, have Jordan Davis from Mallard Creek,
Yep.
Landon Dickerson from South Caldwell, Will Shipley from Weddington, and for the Chiefs, they have Joshua Williams from Jack Britt and Fayetteville State. There you go, Jason. Get that plug
Get that
in.
Fayetteville State in there.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Lenny responding again. I want to know. Nobody's telling me. I want to know. Do you want the Chiefs to win? It don't take. Jason has told me and Butch has told me. You want the Chiefs to win or do you want to see it stop now? That's what I want to know. Do you want the Chiefs to win or the Eagles? My guys in here have already said I'm the loner, right? Because Mike really don't care. He's neutral. But
you know what? I'm kind of leaning toward preserving
the two.
the two.
Yeah.
You know? Kind of am.
Well, mine just comes down to who they're playing. And
I do
and I
think-
don't want the Eagles to win. It's got nothing to do with
Right.
the Chiefs.
Is that because the
Just-
Eagles
yeah.
are in the same?
Yeah, it's just one of Washington's rivals. I'm not.
rivals. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wonder. I just like it to stay at two. You know, is Mahomes going to wind up being the best quarterback in the history of the game if he stays healthy?
He will.
I'd say yes.
I'd say yes.
But you know, he can win. He can win two more in a row starting next year if he wants to. But I just want to see it. You know, and I like parity a little bit more too than I do just seeing the same teams. I mean,
So how far is he behind Brady? Brady had 7.
the
right?
Chiefs have been in the championship game or the Super Bowl. How many times in the last
Oh yeah.
8 years? Or
This is
whatever?
5 out of
It's
6.
Unbelievable. 5 out of 6. They've been in the Super Bowl. They've been in the championship game every year Mahomes has been there, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think they lost it one time, and they've been to the championship maybe 7 straight years.
Well, haven't they won 6 or 7 straight AFC championships? I don't think I'm right in saying that. I don't know.
No, because Burrow went.
Burrow went. That's right.
Yep. Remember, they at one time for a brief period of time, they called it Burrowhead Stadium. And remember that? Not Arrowhead. That was pretty neat.
Burrowhead
had shirts printed up, Burrowhead Stadium.
Yeah.
Let's see. From Lenny, that's probably who it is. Frank Ryan. He's talking about the quarterback of the Browns back in that day. George Dixon could probably tell us who that quarterback was back in that day. And Lenny says he's fine with the Chiefs winning. I'm fine with the Chiefs winning if it wasn't number 3. I really am. Yeah. If it wasn't number 3. Mike Painter says Eagles for me. Yeah, I like that. Roger says Chiefs stop now. Absolutely. That's just me. I'm ready to see. Not that the Eagles will be a totally new face because they won it about 5 years ago.
Plus they were in it 2 years ago against the Chiefs.
Yeah, they've been pretty consistent here lately.
Yeah.
But this is the coach's first time, right? Getting there with the Eagles.
It was Doug Peterson.
Who's kind of faded off into the
only Super Bowl.
And now he's fired as from Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Not Tampa Bay, but Jacksonville.
Yep. One of you guys get your lyrics ready. I'm going to read a couple more things, and we're running a little bit behind on our first time out.
Running on empty?
Not on empty.
No.
Just behind.
I got you.
At some point, this is coming from Ned, at some point before the Jets won versus the Colts, they created the name Super Bowl. If you look at a NFL list of Super Bowl winners, they have those 2 Green Bay games listed as Super Bowl I and Super Bowl II. Okay. The Jets versus the Colts may be what put the Super Bowl on the map, though.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
because
Joe Willie.
Yeah, he guaranteed a win, and they did somehow win. It was an upset because the Colts were heavily favored in that game. Don't remember what the spread was, but that one probably did put the Super Bowl on the map.
And it gave the AFC legitimacy.
Now tell me if I'm right or wrong about this. In that year, your 3 major sports champions. One of them, though, however, was ABA and not NBA. Okay, but 3 of the major sports champions were the Mets, the Nets, and the Jets. Is that right? They all won in the same year? You have to tell me, Mike. The Mets, the Nets, and the Jets. Did the Mets not win the World Series in '69?
The amazing Mets.
The only one I'm not 100% sure about then would be the basketball one.
The basketball.
Did the Nets win basketball?
They did win baseball.
Lenny would know that.
Yeah.
All right, let's take our first time out. Who has got the lyrics ready?
I'll go.
Okay.
Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day.
I think we've had that one recently.
Are we?
But we'll be back in a moment.
Okay, I can make a...
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
KL Insurance, Lincoln. Call 704-732-4646 or visit klinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back. David, Mike, and Brett got some. Mike Powell gave us some lyrics we hadn't heard in a long time there.
Yeah, maybe even a week.
You know, a short time ago.
Yeah.
Right, we heard those lyrics.
Much to my chagrin.
I love this. Lenny says the Mets, the Jets, and the Knicks all won championships in '69. So the Nets did not. I was always a fan of the way they did those names when all those new teams came in. You know, those are like the second comings for New York. I mean, you know, obviously the Yankees were already there, and the New York Giants were there, and the Knicks were there. But then they put the Nets, the Jets, and the Mets. You know what the Mets' real name is, Mike?
Real name?
Yeah, the New York Mets. It'll make it easy if I say full name.
Yeah, that's just a shortened version.
Well, maybe it won't.
Metropolitans.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep, the Metropolitans. But that was too much to put on a jersey.
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
Knickerbockers.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
York Knickerbockers.
Give us your lyrics again, Mike.
Ticking
Away.
Ticking away the moments that make up a dull day. You fritter and waste the hours in an offhand way.
Well, that would be. Got a couple people here. Got it. Ned says Pink Floyd. Don't know the title. I think Brett just did this one last Saturday, and it was It is still time, right,
Yeah,
Brett?
that's right.
By Pink Floyd. Let's see. Rodney says Floyd's Time, great song. It is a great song, and it's worth doing an encore for.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's a great
It's a
song.
very depressing song.
A lot of their songs are depressing.
They are.
You know.
It's like just frittering away your time. Life is desperate. Yeah, it is.
I'm going to say there might have been a substance used when some of those songs? Just maybe.
Yeah.
This might have been a substance used whenever some of those songs were written.
No.
But they're all great.
They're all great.
I like them anyway. I think
they're
they're all great.
So meticulously put together in the studio, and all the sound effects and everything.
Rodney still has not answered my question. I'm gonna get on you this morning, Rodney. I think the Eagles will win. Best roster across the board.
Yeah. Well,
Who do you want to win? That's what I want to know. Are we tired of Kansas City? Are we okay with Kansas City being the first and only team, probably in our lifetime, to three-peat? Because that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Don Revels, interesting Super Bowl facts. I like this. Interesting Super Bowl facts. 7 most watched television events in U.S. are Super Bowls. So I was going to ask you can think about this too. You can only watch one this weekend. It ain't this weekend, but let's pretend. You can only watch one over the next week. Super Bowl or Duke, Carolina? Which one you watching? You can only watch one. Which one?
I'd watch Super Bowl.
I'd watch Super
I would too.
Bowl.
Yep, I would too.
I mean, because
History
Duke
could
and
be
Carolina-
made for one.
Yeah, Duke Carolina played twice.
Yep.
Sometimes 3.
And let's face it, regular season just don't mean that much.
That's right.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Plus, the Super Bowl's 3 hours. Who's the halftime show? Got no idea.
Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. Okay.
Kendrick Lamar.
Let's see. Seven most watched television shows. That's from Don saying that are Super Bowls. Second only to Champions League final as the most watched worldwide. I'm guessing that's soccer.
Yeah.
Got to
Okay.
be soccer.
Shows how much I know, right, about the sport. And then his third fact about the Super Bowl, second largest in food consumption behind Thanksgiving dinner. That should be number one.
Yeah.
That should be number one. I like it. Second largest day in food consumption.
How many tons of Doritos?
Only behind Thanksgiving dinner. Is that your favorite snack at a Super Bowl?
Well, that's just one
that popped in your
one
mind?
that pops into my mind.
Yeah. I want to ask you.
I don't know. I mean, what else?
Anything.
What was
Anything.
yours?
It's,
My God.
he said Doritos.
No.
But it's
They
something.
always have a commercial or two on the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're taking bets on what will be the first commercial shown during the Super Bowl.
You mean, a company or
Yeah.
the advertiser?
Company or
Well, I
the
like
advertisement.
Doritos is a
pizza
possibility.
and wings as a Super Bowl
Yeah, I
meal.
like-
Something
yeah.
you can just get up and eat a piece of and
Yeah.
sit back down.
Wings, yeah, sure. Pizzas.
Do you, what? Well, I was gonna say what's your favorite beverage on Super Bowl, but we might get into a.
Yeah.
I might not be good.
An early one because I have to work the day after.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Well, Jason's been fighting that for years. Jason is the one that wants to
Move it
have
to Saturday.
I don't want them to move the game. I just want them to make the day after.
a holiday.
holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. If they could
Which-
always schedule it where the Super Bowl was on MLK Day.
Yeah, the day before it.
Yeah.
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 Be perfect.
That weekend. If it was on the Sunday before
Yeah.
Martin Luther King Day, that would solve a lot of that. Let's see. I was trying to find something here to show you guys if I can find it real quick. I'm not doing anything real quick. It doesn't appear though this morning, but there was something. It was a question I wanted to share with you guys. If I can find it, because I've already shared this with Brett. Mike, you ready for this?
Yeah.
What is the only, and I would say it is who is the only NFL team to play in the Super Bowl before Neil Armstrong's moonwalk and never get back since?
Wow. Before that would be 69. So.
Yeah, it says before Neil Armstrong's moonwalk. The only team to play in the Super Bowl before Neil's moonwalk, and they have not been back to the big game since. And it's not hard. It just requires a little bit of thought. Yep, Ned got it
The
already.
Jets.
Yes, sir. The New York Jets.
New York Jets.
Yep. Let's see. Ned says, for your Super Bowl question.
What if the answer was trick question? The moon landing is a conspiracy. It's never happened.
Never happened.
Well,
I don't believe that. I just
right. That's good.
thought that would be a.
Have you been hanging out with Kyrie? Let's see. For your Super Bowl question, don't care. And he's talking about who wins. This is Ned. Don't care. What I want is the game to go down to the end, a nail biter, exciting for the viewers is what I think he meant to put there. But here's what I say about that. Then that means you want a Kansas City win, because if it goes down to the wire, Kansas City is winning.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City is winning if it goes down to the wire. I would just about bet on that. Lenny got the trivia question correct as well. The Jets there went in 1969. Never ever made it back to the Super Bowl. I like that one, and I also like the one about the Vikings. I did not know the Vikings never led. I knew they were in 4 Super Bowls. I knew they were 0-4, but I didn't know they never even had a lead. And then Brett tells us the points they scored, and it was like around 30.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 30. I don't even know if they got to 30 in 4 games. In 4 appearances. It was that way.
Yeah, that was the days of what was it?
Thunder.
The Purple People Eaters, Carl Page.
No, you got it wrong already.
Do I?
Alan Page. Carl Eller.
Carl Eller. That's right.
Name the other 2.
Here's you a good one.
Name the other 2, Mike.
Who was the only person to win a Super Bowl ring and an Oscar?
Whoa.
A Super Bowl ring and an Oscar.
Yeah, you'll never get it.
Why'd you ask it? Because it's some off-the-wall player? Is that why I won't get it?
He didn't play. Well, he might have played, but I guess he won it as chairman of the New York Giants. So,
chairman of the New York Giants.
yeah. Now, I don't know what he did before that or how he ended up with that job, but
what was it, Mara?
he also
One
won.
of the Maras? Was it?
No.
No?
Yeah, and the Oscar win was as a producer of Forrest Gump.
So,
Ooh.
the producer of, wow.
So he wasn't in the movie,
that
and he
is-
wasn't on the team.
Yeah, you're going to have to just throw us that name
Steve Tisch.
out there. I do know that name. I remember when Steve Tisch was involved with the Giants. I really do. I was going to ask you, as Rooney Mara has never won a Super Bowl, but has she won an Oscar? You know who Rooney
Yeah, I don't
Mara
know.
is, Mike
I
Powell?
There was also
you know who
Kate,
her grandparents
Kate
are?
Mara, her sister.
Do you know who Rooney Mara's grandparents are?
No, but I know she's been in some action thrillers. Like she was in one of the. God.
Her 2 names.
Oh,
her 2 names should tell you who her grandparents are.
Rooney
Mara.
Mara.
So the Rooneys of the Steelers.
Oh, the Roonies of the Steelers. That's right.
That's her grandparents,
Yeah.
and the Maras of the Giants.
That's right.
Are her grandparents.
Yeah.
So who does she pull for if they ever meet each other in the Super Bowl?
I wonder.
I don't think she has to worry about it right now.
Was she the
The
girl with the dragon tattoo?
Girl
Yeah.
with the dragon tattoo with Daniel Craig. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good movie.
Yes, let's see. Ned sends me again like you did, Brett. Vikings 7-7-6, and then they blew it out that last game, 14. 7-7-6 and 14 in those 4 Super Bowls. Yeah, which one has suffered the most? I mean, which one is it? Which one do you picture being the underdogs or whatever you want to call it? The Vikings or the Bills? They're both 0-4 in Super Bowls. Minnesota's, I think, happened maybe in a 6-7 year stretch. Buffalo's came all together, 4 in a row.
And they were only really competitive in one of the games, right? The first one.
I don't even think they've played in the NFC Championship game. The Vikings, I don't think they played an NFC Championship game since they played in it and lost to Atlanta.
Yeah, with a
15-1 record.
15-1 record.
Chris Carter,
And who was that quarterback?
Culpepper,
Culpepper.
I think. Wasn't it
Yeah.
Culpepper
I think-
back then?
I think you're right, Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, and their kicker hadn't missed a kick all year, and he missed a field goal.
Yeah.
Had not missed one all year. Didn't they both have kickers with the same last name?
Anderson, Gary Anderson,
Seemed
and
like it.
Morton
that right?
Anderson.
Were they on those two
I think
teams?
so, yeah.
Yep. But Atlanta won that and went to the Super Bowl and lost to Elway and the Denver Broncos. I like the World Series, the NFL Super Bowl trivia. There's some good stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Just can't figure. What time is the basketball game now? I haven't found it. Don't even know what
6:30.
time. 6:30. Well, that's good. That's
like
good. You
that?
know what? I expected 9 o'clock.
Well, you know what's at 9? It's Cal's return to Rupp Arena.
Wow. Oh wow. How will that go? Other than he's going to lose that game. How will that go?
I think they should cheer for him.
Hey, we get corrected. It was not Culpepper, the quarterback. Jason says the quarterback on that team was who?
No, Carmichael.
No, but I think you have an idea, but you're just got the
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham.
Yeah,
I'd forgot about that.
that's right. 15-1.
So that was before.
Randall had some good years with the Eagles and
Culpepper.
the Vikings.
Yeah, he was
That's
fun
good.
to watch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Real quick, who's his brother? Oh, have I got y'all?
You got me.
Who's his brother? Famous brother.
He was brother.
Played at Southern Cal.
Oh, Sam the Bam.
There you go. Sam the Bam Cunningham. As a matter of fact, I think he was older than Randall. I think he came through there first. He was just a big bruising fullback.
That's
that,
right.
had pretty good speed too.
Mm-hmm.
Sam the Bam Cunningham, Randall's brother. Okay, second, you should get this one. Where did Randall play his college football? I got him on that one too.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Not Southern Cal.
He was like 6'8".
I'll
right?
put it this
He
way.
was-
He wasn't 6'8".
Is he not?
No.
Sure.
He maybe 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
There's never been a 6'8" quarterback, has there? Didn't we go through that one time on this show that the tallest quarterback who's the tallest quarterback right now?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this much about yes, Rodney got it on where he went to college, and so did Don Revels. Better known for basketball. That's what I was going to give you as a hint. Where he went to college and played football was better known
for basketball.
Kansas?
Better known for basketball. Even more obscure than that. That's why I asked, because it's like this team does not produce quarterbacks. This school does not produce quarterbacks. This school does not produce many football players. It's just
Gonzaga?
you're getting in the right part of
Temple.
out of the nation, right part of the country.
Oh, okay. On the west, it's on the west coast.
Almost the coast.
Ooh, well,
Almost the coast. Let's
I'd
see.
have to
Jason says Sam the Bam Cunningham and his USC team beat Alabama in 1970, and led Alabama finally integrating their football team. Golly, I didn't know that was that late.
that late.
When that happened. Rodney says, I better read this. Brock Osweiler, that's who he says was the tallest quarterback. I think that's what he means out of that, because Brock Osweiler was like a toothpick, right? He was just real tall and very, very
That's right.
slim.
He was tall.
Yep. And Rodney also got the answer right on that question. Current quarterbacks, tall, I think he's talking about, 6'6", two of them, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. That comes from Mike Painter saying those two guys are 6'6".
What about Flacco? He's pretty tall.
Yeah.
Is he still?
He don't look
is he
tall
still
though
playing?
because he was so big. I mean, Flacco's kind of built like a tight end. You know, he was not a
Had to be
small
at
dude.
least 6'5".
Lenny with the correct college for Randall Cunningham. Sam the Bam went to Southern Cal, and if the years would
Did
have
he go to Pepperdine?
no. Okay, I said you was in the general area, and then somebody said West Coast, and I said almost.
Almost.
And Pepperdine,
Not on the coast.
Pepperdine's on the beach.
That's right.
That is right.
Oh,
Brad?
yeah, I've driven right past it.
Mike Glennon was 6'7". He's out of NC State.
That's right.
Played for Tampa a few years. I don't know where else he might have played, but that's a good one from Don Revels, Mike Glennon. Let's see I don't know. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you guys what school he went to. what was the name? Let's see.
UNLV?
Yep.
UNLV.
That's all you need to do. Get it. What made you say that?
It finally came to me, a
Not a
school
football
known
team.
for basketball
Mhm.
that's almost on the West Coast.
UNLV. Name me another NFL player from UNLV. And it's not a trick question because I can't name them.
Oh,
I know there been.
Yeah.
And there are now probably more than ever. And UNLV's where they just had the quarterback and
Yeah, they've
decided
actually
to
got a
leave the
pretty good
team.
program
yeah,
right
they
now.
do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But old Randall, he was what round? I wonder what round Randall Cunningham went in when he came out.
Icky Woods.
Icky Woods went to UNLV?
Keenan McCardell, you remember him?
I do. Now, was he he played a little bit everywhere, didn't he? Bucks, maybe, Jaguars.
Yeah, Redskins.
Redskins.
At one time.
Yeah, Keenan McCardell, a good receiver. Good receiver. They hadn't had a ton, though,
No.
of NFL guys make it out of there. You want me to go next, Brett, on the
Doesn't matter.
on the lyrics? It's going to take me.
Mine's ready.
Okay, go ahead, because my computer went out a while ago. I had to restart it. Now I got to pull those back up. So
Mine went out too.
All right.
go for it.
The deception with tact. Just what are you trying to say?
Sounds like a tough one. We'll be back in a minute.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes & Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
KL Insurance, Lincoln, call 704-732-4646 or visit klinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
And welcome back to Sports Talk. David, Mike, and Brett here. Another hour with you, or close to an hour anyway. We had some really interesting lyrics there, and I'm going to say, way to go, Ned. Ned got the song, and then once he got the song, I had no idea, but once he got the song, I got the artist. Mm-hmm. So, Brett, give us those lyrics one more time.
The deception with tact. Just what are you trying to say? You've got a blank face which irritates.
I've never really paid attention that that's what they were saying in that first line, but now I can just do it right along with the music. One thing leads to another. By the Fix with two X's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
F-I-X-X, the Fix.
Dipping into the 80s.
Yeah, but they were one of those bands that stood out in the 80s, you know.
Yep. So many of them.
There were?
Synth pop.
Some of them stood out for other reasons. A lot of them stood out for negative reasons. Who was the worst band of the 80s? Think about that. Who was the worst band?
Are you talking about the Big
of
Hair
the 80s?
era or earlier?
Def Leppard.
Brett says Def Leppard. He's never been a Def Leppard fan.
I
haven't really
either.
Yeah.
I'm not either.
Yep.
Kiss.
But I don't know if they
But
were.
I know they
Pyromania.
came before the 80s.
They
but,
did come before the 80s.
Pyromania, not one of my favorite songs.
Which I guess the Def Leppard might have came before the 80s. I don't know. But
Well, most of them came along maybe before then, but that's when they hit their biggest popularity for every decade.
How about Motley Crue? Yeah, pretty good.
Were they even a band?
Yeah.
I'd rather hear them than Def Leppard.
About
my
Poison.
Yeah, well, they're all the same.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are.
The ones you're naming,
Interchangeable.
Scorpions, all those hair
Yeah.
bands are basically the same.
Yeah.
Ned said, had to hum a melody a long time to get there. Would never have remembered the Fix. Two X's.
Two X's.
Two X's there, Ned.
Fix.
Not just one. Two X's on the end on that the Fix. That's pretty good. That's
That's not.
I'm glad somebody got it because I was worried that
nobody would.
That's not easy.
Mine will be much easier than that. I'm afraid. I did pick one that's not going to be quite as hard when we get to it here in about 20 minutes. You guys tell me a little bit about what the week was like in college basketball. Any upsets in college basketball this past week? What do you consider an upset? Is there such thing as an upset?
I don't know. The Southeast just knocking each other off. I mean,
are they still dominating the top 10?
Each other, yeah.
Yeah.
They are still dominating the top 10.
And they got a big one today, Florida at Tennessee.
Yep.
That's number 5 and number 8.
Now, they've already played once, right?
I'm not sure.
Roger could tell us. I think it seems like Florida might have won. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. 73-43.
What happened there? That game had to be in Florida, right?
It was.
Okay.
And it was, I think Tennessee was undefeated at that time, and Florida was coming off a loss to Kentucky. And
I never like to play a good team coming off a loss.
Yeah, and Florida they came to play. Yeah, that's for a team as good as Tennessee to lose the game by 30 is hard to imagine.
Well, you're going to look at double-digit SEC teams getting into Big Dance.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. The way it's shaping up, but things could change.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that either way because I would have to agree with you. Okay, Auburn's number 1, Duke's number 2, Iowa State is number 3
the Big 12
in the nation. And why am I getting ads? I'm not trying to get any ads here, but they keep popping up. Auburn, Duke, Iowa State, Alabama, Florida. So there's 3 of the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Houston, Michigan State. Then you're back in the SEC with Tennessee. Marquette's number 9. Purdue is number 10. Out of that top 10, who's the biggest surprise to be in the top 10 this far down the road? I mean, most of them have played around 20 games. Anybody?
Not really. I don't.
You know who it is to me, and the reason is because it's Purdue, because they lost the big man.
Yeah.
You know,
They lost,
who was by far. I mean, I don't know if he was their best player, but he seemed to be their most important player.
Yeah. No, I mean, he was probably the best player in the country last year. Best college player in the country.
But to see them hanging in there 16-5 and still in the top 10, you know, good to see Michigan State back in there. You know, you guys know I'm an Izzo.
Oh, yeah, Michigan State's having a great
just going to say,
season.
Izzo's had a couple off years, and now he's back. So
yeah, they've won a bunch in a row.
Yeah, poor old Izzo, though, only one title in a great career of coaching. A lot of Final Fours, but only one title.
Yeah. How many times?
They won 13 in a row.
And honestly, for Michigan State, it seems like it's either Duke or Carolina knocking them out.
Every time.
It seems like it's one of those two.
Except
that they can't get past.
One year when Duke had.
Yeah, they beat Duke one year. But
Zion.
And that ain't the year they won it.
No, they
you have to
didn't
go
win
back to Mateen Cleaves.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 2000.
Is that when that was?
Yeah, 2000.
Yep. When they beat Zion, what round was that?
Elite 8.
Elite 8, yeah.
Okay. So to get to the Final Four. Okay.
So
they advanced to the Final Four to get there. 11 through 20 are Kansas. Kansas was up top for a good portion of the year. Is it just schedule got tougher, or have they just had a little setback, or do you watch them enough to know? 14-5 is not shabby. I'm not, you know. I mean,
and they could still be a Final Four team.
Yep. Kansas, Kentucky, Texas A&M at 13, Mississippi State. That's more SEC schools there. St. John, that's good to see. Oregon, that's also really good to see. Oregon's become pretty good athletic school. Weren't they in the college baseball playoffs? I'm not going to say they got to the World Series because it was all SEC and ACC, but I think they did make it and play in the college baseball NCAA tournament last year.
I don't know.
It seems like. Wisconsin is at 17, Illinois 18, Memphis at 19, and Missouri, Mike's favorite school in our nation, at 20.
Well, I have a little personal thing. The former head coach at Gaston College is an assistant at Missouri.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
Dickie
Nutt.
Dickie Nutt.
Yep.
Has to be one of my favorite names.
I love it.
Of all time.
Brother of Houston Nutt, former Arkansas, and where else did he coach in the SEC besides Arkansas? I can't think right now. Mississippi? I don't know.
Okay, Mike, I'm struggling at my trivia this morning. Michigan State is the last Big Ten team to win the NCAA tournament. Big Ten's a football conference.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just messing with you there, Jason. SEC's a basketball conference, right?
Right.
Big Ten's a football conference. Let's see. Lenny says that's what convinced Alabama to integrate its football team, Cunningham's team. I remember Wilbur Jackson playing running back for Alabama in the early 70s. I think he was Bear Bryant's first integrated scholarship. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. The first thing I remember about Alabama, who's the first player you guys remember from Alabama? Because we're all three going to be different.
Yeah.
We're all three going to be different. Because I know who the mine was a quarterback. I think he was a quarterback. He's either quarterback or running back. Now I can't even remember. That's how far back it goes. And I'll tell you in a minute, but I want to hear you guys first. The first Alabama player.
In my consciousness.
Period. Player.
Forrest Gump.
Might be.
Yeah.
Might be.
Gosh.
Well, when I was a kid, they weren't dominant.
They had one good year when you were growing up, and actually beat Miami in the championship game. And that,
I don't remember who was on that team.
No, that was
like the one that comes to mind
George
for me,
somebody. What was George's last name? George. He was a really good defensive player. Stole the ball from a Miami guy in that game. George. My first one I remember is a quarterback. I think he's quarterback name, and Lenny can tell me. Major Ogilvy.
Yep, Major Ogilvy.
Was he a quarterback or running back? He was a quarterback, wasn't he?
I thought he was like an all-purpose player.
Okay.
Sure.
I can't remember. Oh, man, Butch Parker has a really good one.
The one that comes to mind for me is Joe Namath, but
Me
obviously
too.
I didn't see him play.
I saw him play. Yeah, he's the first big-time Alabama player that on my
Butch
horizon.
And Rodney at the same time sent me the same person that they remember playing there. I don't know how Rodney remembers this one playing there, but they got the same person with two different names. So I love it.
Yeah.
One's got his name, one's got his nickname. Now, you ought to get that, Mike. It's a quarterback.
It is a quarterback.
Yes. I'll give you a hint.
Wait a minute. Scott something.
You better let me give you a hint.
Okay.
He won a Super Bowl.
Ooh.
He won a Super Bowl.
Won a Super Bowl.
Yep. He went on to win a Super Bowl. Somebody tell me what Major Ogilvy played. Was he quarterback or running back? I need to know. And it might have been running back. Like you said,
I think that guy you were talking about in that game against Miami was George Teague.
Yes,
George
Teague.
Back.
George Teague is exactly. He went on to have a pretty good career. Like I think he played with Dallas and Green Bay, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that who he played
with?
Yeah,
drafted by Green Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was against
really
Miami.
good defensive player.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he just took the ball away from the guy, and then I think he scored with it in that game.
The
Snake, Mike.
Kenny Stabler.
Ken Stabler.
Okay.
Was the first one they remember playing for Alabama. Rodney says the Snake. Butch says Stabler. Don Revel says Kenny the Snake Stabler.
Right.
And Roger says Stabler. How about that? Ken Stabler, the late Ken Stabler. Great stories about him, if they're true, about staying out all night and then coming, a lot like Paul Hornung lifestyle.
Yeah.
When he played football, he just liked to party at night and come in and play football the next day and still get it done.
Major Ogilvy was a running back.
Running back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And around 74.
Later, 77 to 80.
Okay. 77 to 80. Okay.
I mean, who were the great Alabama players when Bear Bryant was running
Forrest Gump.
triple option? They were a triple option team for a number of years.
Yeah, well, I can't. I can promise you that one's going to have to come from Butch or somebody, or you. Somebody.
I mean, he changed. The Bear changed and realized that he was going to have to start throwing the ball, and then of course But there was, as I recall, he made the switch from that type of offense to a more wide open offense. But I can't remember any of the players from that time.
I feel like some of them will roll in here.
Here's one, Johnny Musso.
Yeah, Johnny Musso. Remember him.
This says Alabama star player when Bryant switched to the wishbone
offense.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Let's see who the first person can tell us what the longest play. What's the longest play in Super Bowl history? The longest play in Super Bowl history. Anybody know that? Anybody know what that might be? I was looking up earlier this morning some Super Bowl trivia, just those few things out there. I know we got a week to go. Maybe we'll ask a few more questions next week.
Yeah.
But the longest play in Super Bowl history,
Well, Devin Hester ran a kickoff back. Was it 100+ yards?
That's not it.
That's not it?
That's not it. So I don't know. I don't know how it was long. And what was the Pittsburgh defender that went.
Yeah, Harrison.
Yeah, wasn't that
James
one?
Harrison.
Wasn't that one either? That's probably
It was 80-some, 90 yards, wasn't it? Well, what's the yardage on that play?
Well, that'd give it away.
Yeah.
Would
I'd say it's 108 yards.
Well, it's going to help you, but I will tell you.
Was it over 100?
108.
108.
108. So that tells you it wasn't.
It's a
It was
return
an
of some kind.
interception.
It was not a play
It was a
from.
pick
It was
six.
not a play from scrimmage,
Right.
doesn't it? Now I've got 3 answers here that came in before the deadline here. First, Lenny says, this is back to Namath and Stabler. I don't remember Namath and Stabler playing, but the first that came to my mind was Alabama, where Richard Todd, I remember Richard Todd. Quarterback, and Johnny Musso, running back, along with, this was a great name right here, Ozzie Newsome, tight end.
Oh,
I didn't even know he went to Alabama. Long-time GM for the Ravens. Started, he was the first GM.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, and built a Super Bowl winner there. Ned says college baseball starts this weekend. Locally, CVCC, Hickory, and Cleveland Community College, Shelby. We also know Tusculum is underway this weekend as well. I'm pretty sure. I see in Hickory and Cleveland in Shelby host doubleheaders 1 and 4. 5 names. I typed 5 names of post 100 alums, their teams on the Facebook page. There you go. Good deal. We did get a guess from Rodney. It says James Harrison, and that was a long play, but it was not the longest in Super Bowl history. This is a name that you will know, but it's not your household name. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like, like Brett said, it's a kick return. It's a kick return. So who had that longest kick return, 108 yards in the Super Bowl?
Was it Jacoby Jones?
Got it.
Jacoby Jones.
Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the one they beat San Francisco? Was it that game?
I think it was. It just said, all it gives me is Jacoby Jones 108-yard kickoff return. It don't tell the year, who they were playing, or anything. But I thought that would be an interesting.
Yeah, well, when you first said 108, my first thought was interception return.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that would that'd get a lot of, well, taking one out from 8 yards deep in the end zone, whether it's interception or kickoff, would get a lot of people benched.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But he was, Devin Hester's the best at the kickoff returns, but I would say Jacoby's right up there with whoever's number 2. You know what I mean? I mean, he had some big kick returns in his day. Here's you another one. We're going to take a break here in just a few minutes, but what was the score? What was the score of the lowest scoring Super Bowl in history? What was the score of the lowest scoring Super Bowl?
14-7
in history.
The one that comes to mind
Dolphins
was
over Redskins.
I'll tell you if you get it.
Then that is lower than I was thinking. The Giants beat the Patriots 17-14 one time, but there might have been one lower than that.
There was. Yep. Lowest scoring Super Bowl. And boy, it was I'll give you this. It was the beginning of something big.
So it was not 14-7. Lower than that. Correct?
I said I'll tell you if you get it.
Okay.
So it must either been the Patriots' first one or the Steelers.
It was the beginning of something big. And it was in your lifetime. Does that help you, Brett?
Beginning of something big.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm surprised that it's not flooding after that hint. What was the lowest scoring Super Bowl in the history of the game? You want me to tell you the score?
Yep.
And then you can guess who they were?
Yeah.
13-3.
13-3.
I don't remember that. I mean, I'm reading it right here, but I just don't remember it. and evidently you guys don't either. But
it's one I'd want to forget.
What was the score?
3.
Yeah.
Was that the Chiefs' first one?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't know.
The beginning of the biggest. Well, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong about it being the beginning of the biggest, because maybe it's just another one, but it says it's the Patriots beating the Rams.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The Patriots beating the Rams in Super Bowl.
I do remember that.
43.
That's definitely not their first one.
Okay, not their first.
Their first one they beat the Rams.
It wasn't the beginning.
The Kurt Warner Rams.
Okay.
It wasn't. I don't know if it was high scoring, but it was higher than that.
Yeah. Why can't I even remember this one then? Did it take place? I can't. Okay.
Yeah, that was Jared.
They
Jared
kicked
Goff.
the other one. Couldn't have been this. The first one was a Vinatieri field goal that won it.
Yeah,
the first
beat
New England.
It was against the Rams.
Yes, it was against the Rams. But yeah, it was part of something big. Then maybe I should have said it that way, not the beginning of something big. Was the year had ice storm in Atlanta? I don't know who played in that one when they had the ice storm in Atlanta. I remember the ice storm in Atlanta. I don't remember who the teams were that played.
Yeah, that first one for New England was 20-17.
Thank you,
over
Rodney.
the Rams.
20-17. Thank you, Rodney. Rodney says, Seth graduated from Tusculum last year, now pitching for UNC Pembroke. And that's right. He mentioned that to me the other day. I'm so forgetful. As a graduate student pursuing his MBA. UNC Pembroke opens its season today with a doubleheader against Lake Erie.
Mm-hmm.
Go Braves. Now, Lake Erie, that's a team looking to play somewhere south. I gotta guess. Butch Parker, Rams Titans. Hey, it was close, but it was Rams and Patriots. The Rams and Titans. What was the score of that one? Was it 16-13? It was low. Jason says it's the Patriots and the Rams in Super Bowl 53. Yep. That's the one that we were looking for, which was because it doesn't tell. It does say 53 on here, but that's 13-3. Now let me ask you this: who were the Rams stars then, Brett, when they lost to the Patriots? Because it wasn't the greatest show on turf.
No, Jared Goff, Todd Gurley.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So Gurley made a Super Bowl. I didn't even remember that Gurley made a Super Bowl along the way.
Well, was he not with them in the one they won?
I don't know.
5 years or so ago?
I don't know.
Or whenever that was. 4 years ago?
Maybe he made two. Maybe he made two.
That was against the Bengals.
I don't know. For some reason, I think he was already gone, Brett.
He might have been.
I think he had already retired before. But I can't tell you who the running backs were in that game. Running back is coming back, though. Is that good?
Oh, big time.
Running back is coming back.
He didn't play.
I kind of like it. I really do.
Yep.
Their leading rusher was Cam Akers with 21 yards.
Yeah.
But they did have Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham.
That's not bad either.
No.
Cooper Kupp and how many teams did Odell play for in his career? 3? Or
I don't know.
Started out with the Giants.
Yeah.
Played with the Rams. And was he a Cowboy for a while?
I don't think so.
Raven?
Baltimore.
Ravens come to mind.
Something like Miami. Went to Miami. Cleveland. Giants, Browns, Rams, Ravens, Dolphins.
No, just 5?
Yeah.
So he made his
I forgot he went
there.
to Cleveland. That was when they had Jarvis Landry. You know, they were college buddies.
Wow. Let's see if I can find what I need here.
I don't know who
quick.
the quarterback was, but
And yeah, I was trying to think of who the modern day. I don't know. I guess it is Odell. He's played in the league this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he was with Miami.
Yeah. And what do you make, real quick? What do you make of the words that came out of the Miami receiver at the end of the year? I'm out of here.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, just do it this way then. Will he play in Miami this year? This coming season?
I have no idea. I don't know what his contract deal is. I don't know. I would guess no.
What's weird is he was with the Chiefs. Didn't want, something went wrong there. I don't know exactly what, but he could have been a part of some more Super Bowls, but the relationship went sour or something.
Yeah.
And Kansas City obviously doesn't miss him. I mean, that's for sure. Let's see. Ned says Seth joins fellow Post 100 alum Zane Brockman at UNC. Pembroke, Seth's number 33, Zane's number 23 on those official rosters for the Braves there. And we're going to read Lenny's, and then I'm going to give you my lyrics for our final segment this morning. Lenny says, here is another player at Bama around the same time as those earlier. At the same time as those earlier three I gave you. Former New England Patriot. Yeah. At one time, this guy was considered the best offensive lineman in football. Maybe in the history of football at one time. Don't know if he still would be or not. Do you remember who that would be, Mike? Brett?
Just Saturday. No.
Oh, my goodness. No, I said
he played at Carolina, didn't he?
I said best lineman in the history of the game. That's usually not going to be your center, but
no.
John Hannah.
John Hannah, yep. Alabama.
John Hannah. Hog Hannah, he says on here. John Hannah was a longtime Patriot, if I remember.
Yep.
Right? I don't know if he even played with anybody else, but I do know he was a longtime Patriot. All right, here we go. Final lyrics of the morning. Going to take our final time out. Appreciate you tuning in this morning. It's all the same. Only the names will change. Back in a moment.
First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit MooneyInsurance.com.
Lake Electric Company was founded in 1984. They are licensed in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Virginia. Safety and quality is first in everything they do. For all your electrical needs, serving Lincoln County, Catawba County, Burke County, Mecklenburg County, and all the surrounding counties. When it has to be done right, call Lake Electric. Let them take care of your family. Lake Electric Company, 4362 Providence Mill Road, Maiden. Call 704-483-4000. Online at lakeelectric.com.
Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln has been serving the Piedmont of North and South Carolina since 1919. Sure, they deliver to your home with home heating oils. They'll help keep you warm, but they do a whole lot more. They feature bulk fuel delivery, on-site and commercial fueling, backup generator fueling, and farm and agricultural fueling. For home or business or farms, call on Rhodes and Bill Oil Company in Lincoln, 704-735-2508. Online at rhodesandbill.com, located at 1404 East Main Street in Lincoln. Like them on Facebook, too.
Western Steer Family Steakhouse in Newton has the best food around. Their buffet is like no other. Fried chicken, meatloaf, baked chicken, beef tips with peppers and onions, pintos and macaroni cheese, green beans, yams, and the best salad bar around. Hours of business Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Western Steer Family Steakhouse, 334 Southwest Boulevard, Newton. Call for takeouts at 704-325-3926. Like them on Facebook.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
KL Insurance, Lincoln. Call 704-732-4646 or visit KLinsurance.com for all your insurance needs.
Welcome back. On the lyrics this morning, let's see here one more time, because I have got I love it, a lot of correct answers here on these lyrics. What is weird is my computer just blanking every now and then. It's all the same, only the names will change. Every day it seems we're wasting away. Let's see, we've got in order David Avery, Ned Yates, Rodney Willis, Roger Cranford, Lenny Anthony. Brett got it in here with an extra hint. Mike got it. And, yeah, it's one of those that I've seen. All right. I always tell Mike, here's you a hint. It's the one that I've seen in concert. With a famous guitar player who had a famous wife. What was her name? Who was, which one of those actresses was Richie Sanborn?
I don't know.
Married
Richie
to.
Sanborn.
Yep, same. Yep. Bon Jovi. Lenny also gets it there at the last minute. Why did I bring that up? Why is he my artist today? Yeah, I should have waited till next week, but he's a big Philadelphia Eagle fan.
Oh,
right? You know, a big Philadelphia Eagle fan. He actually owned the Philadelphia Soul. Was that a?
I don't know what that is.
It was a football team, but I can't remember if it was what. There've been so many of those leagues try to make it. You know.
Yeah.
I can't remember which ones it was.
He's a Notre Dame fan too.
I like this. David Avery says Bon Jovi, Dead or Alive, West
Dead
Lincoln
or
pregame locker room staple.
Dead or
How about
alive.
that they play that in the locker room before football games. Roger, Bon Jovi, wanted Dead or Alive. Ned, what did Ned tell me here? Got me, can hear it but can't pull for it. I gave Ned credit for getting it right. Ned did not get it right. He didn't have a guess. So, but good song. Is that your favorite? Or do you even have a favorite, Bon Jovi?
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Although
Living on a Prayer is probably his most.
Is my favorite.
That's probably his most popular. But I like some of the older. Runaway, I think that's the name of his first one, maybe.
You Give Love a Bad Name.
That's a really good one.
A big one.
Yep. That's a really good one as well. But used to see him a lot in the booth with Jeffrey Lurie, the owner of the Eagles.
Mm-hmm. Although, isn't it true that Bon Jovi hails from New Jersey? I thought. I could be wrong.
Mike, New Jersey. Philadelphia's in New Jersey. I don't care where they draw the lines.
All right.
Philadelphia is in New Jersey.
Okay.
You take one step, right, Brett, and you're in New Jersey.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia. So.
Whole general area. Yeah.
I always thought that New Jersey Philadelphia should be in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
New York City should be in New Jersey. But because the majority of New York goes upward, right?
Mm-hmm.
From those. But Heather Locklear, thank you, Roger, is the wife of Richie Sambora.
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear. Yeah, I told you remember, Mike, once if I
trying to remember what TV show was she in? It was a soap. Nighttime.
She was on that cop show with Captain Kirk. What was his name?
That was Heather Thomas.
Was that Heather Thomas? Well, I've got to mix.
No, you're right.
Heather Locklear?
T.J. Hooker.
T.J. Hooker. That's it.
Heather Thomas was on Fall Guy.
Yep, with Lee Majors.
No.
Yep. Okay. So she was on T.J. Hooker with, what's his real name?
William
Shatner.
Yeah, he's probably still acting, isn't he? Still doing something
living
today. If he's still living, he's still acting. That is for sure. The first, Brett's got high school basketball scores from last night. We want to go through those.
Yeah, we
and,
need to,
and talk a little bit about the high school season over the final segment here.
In girls, Maiden beat West Caldwell 60-26. Bunker Hill over West Lincoln 52-48. East Rutherford over Patton 51-30. East Lincoln over West Iredell 55-7. North Lincoln over North Iredell 73-58. South Caldwell beat Watauga in 2 overtimes 93-91. Let's see. East Burke beat Newton Conover 64-44. Bandy's over Lincoln 72-44.
Has East Burke's girls lost a game? I know they haven't lost
McDowell
a
beat
conference
them.
game.
Yeah.
McDowell, okay.
Hickory beat St. Stephen's 68-38. Fred T. Ford beat Statesville 53-45. And Freedom beat High Brighton 63-58. And then in boys, West Lincoln over Bunker Hill 74-70. Patton over East Rutherford 60-56. North Lincoln over North Iredell 75-42. Watauga over South Caldwell 80-61. Newton Conover beat East Burke 64-44. Lincoln beat Bandy's 84-71. Hickory over St. Stephen's 66-55. Statesville over Fred T. Ford 70-60. And then West Iredell beat East Lincoln 64-56. And West Caldwell beat Maiden 64-62.
Maiden's first conference loss, right?
Yes.
Maiden's first conference loss to date. I was just looking. I started thinking about it last week. I don't know if you knew this or not, but last week in high school basketball, before a game was played this on Tuesday, the Western Foothills had a 4-way tie for first place.
Yeah.
A 4-way tie for first place. Now, unfortunately for East Lincoln, they have lost twice since that, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Especially last night's, right, Brett?
That is surprising.
Yeah.
To lose to West Iredell.
Yeah, a little surprised by that. I don't know what the situation was, but they did go on the – you said it was on the road, right?
Yeah.
Brett, they were on the road at West Iredell. But North Lincoln pretty much has taken control of that conference because –
in both divisions, right? Men and women.
Yes, they have. Girls might still be unbeaten. But I don't know if you remember or not, didn't North Lincoln start the conference season 0-2?
Yeah.
They did, didn't
they?
Started conference play 0-2, but they have not lost since that.
But still just a one-game, according to this, just a one-game lead.
For North over East?
East, Statesville, and Hickory.
Oh, all three of them are one game
They're
back?
all 7-3, and North's 8-2.
Yeah, there's a little more balance in the girls there than there was.
And they still have East Lincoln to play one more time. They've already played Statesville and Hickory twice.
And what is the lead for the North Lincoln boys?
That is boys.
That is boys, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to go back and...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if...
I think the girls I mean, I don't.
North Lincoln's girls
they probably wouldn't say they've got it wrapped up, but they hadn't lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, East girls are 9-1, so they're only lost to North.
Right.
So yeah, they still got to play East, so that could be for a share of the conference.
So North has no losses,
right? And
East Lincoln just won, but that game will be played at North.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, that they'd already played at East Lincoln once.
And I think North beat them by about 15 or 20.
Oh yeah, dominated.
Yeah, 70-57 the first time.
Yeah, they must really have a strong team under a new head coach as well this year. Lenny says, I had a college professor who used to say that New Jersey was nothing more than a place to sleep for people in New York City and Philadelphia. New Jersey is just a place to sleep for. Yeah, those towns are so close to the line there. Probably even bleed over into the other. You know, when you go to the Statue of Liberty, what's the little town there called, Brett? When you go to the Statue of Liberty, you are in New Jersey, right? When you view it, and it might be Jersey City. It might be Jersey City, New Jersey, is where you're at. But you have a great view of the city, the New York City as well from the Statue of Liberty. So, and it's all right in there. And in Philadelphia, I mean, you know, the Brooklyn, New Jersey, one of the teams that has many American Legion baseball championships.
Yeah.
Even though they come from Brooklyn, New Jersey, a lot of them will tell you they live in Philadelphia. So it's right there. As a matter of fact, I saw when when their team was down here playing in Shelby one year, most of those guys had on Philadelphia Eagles. Those dads had on Philadelphia Eagles stuff. Man, we've covered a lot of music this morning, a lot of sports, a lot of things going on. Still, anybody that hasn't weighed in, are you ready to see the Chiefs string end, or do you want to see a three-peat? Are you ready to see a three-peat, or you just want to see the Chiefs win because it's the Eagles, or vice versa? I'd like to know. It seems like most people, you know, I think when New England was doing this, and I think they were more disliked for whatever reason. You know, Belichick was never a likable coach by oppositions or anything. And, of course, Brady, I think he's more likable probably than Belichick, but still not like Mahomes. Mahomes just seems to be like a likable guy unless he's beating up on your team every single week. Mm-hmm. And Andy Reid, I mean, that's, you know.
He's your favorite uncle.
You know, I could see Andy Reid one day, his name being put beside the some kind of award or something, the coach's award or something. If there's a Coach of the Year award, it'd be the Andy Reid award. He has a chance. We talked about this earlier. The numbers would indicate that he has a chance to pass the ones he trails: Don Shula, George Halas, and Belichick. How many would that take? Do you remember what the number was? Isn't he still like 50-something?
It was, 50 or so,
you know,
to pass them all.
That wouldn't be anything in baseball or basketball, but 50 takes a little longer in the NFL. So, but 5 years if you average 10 wins, you know, has he got that in him? Has he got 5 more years in him? He could probably do it at the rate they're going now. He could do it in 3.
Yeah.
4. I don't think you could do it in 3. You'd have to go. Yeah. You'd have to go undefeated, maybe a couple times. But
yeah, I think it was like 55 that he needs. So.
Yeah, at least 4 years then, and that's if he has really successful years. But I cannot imagine that team. I can't imagine Kansas City not competing for a Super Bowl championship as long as Mahomes and Andy Reid are
no reason why they shouldn't
to keep going. It's one of those franchises that's built around coach and quarterback. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm not saying they don't have really good people, because Kelsey's going to be a Hall of Fame tight end. right? I mean, he's bound to make
Oh
it
yeah,
to the Hall of
yeah,
Fame. He's
he's one of the best ever.
The defensive guy that's so good, so dominant.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer himself if he
is.
stays healthy long enough. But is that all? Or am I missing some? Are there more? I mean, we know Mahomes will be, but I figured that was a given. But
those three guys. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah, and what I liked, I heard this week, was.
But most NFL teams don't have more than 3 future Hall of Famers
on a team.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Who was the most? Pittsburgh, probably, from that early and mid 70s run they had. Maybe the 49ers had quite a few on some of the teams that they had that were, Montana and Steve Young are both.
Yeah, well,
right?
those
Jerry Rice,
early or mid 90s Dallas teams probably had a bunch.
Jerry's eating rice.
They had a whole offensive line that might be. At least a couple of them. The Dallas teams from the Aikman and Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, and the trio there, the triplets, all.
Okay, how do you grade the recent hires? Let's start with.
Yes, please.
Las Vegas, the Raiders.
Except for the age.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done any better.
Yeah. Everybody I've heard says A minus. Yeah.
Couldn't have done any better than
God
getting
knows
Pete
how
Carroll
to
back
build
in.
a roster.
He loves the game.
Yep.
He's going to do everything he can to win and make it successful. And, when he interviewed, what was his first interview? He interviewed with another team earlier that went a different way. But he told them, I will even hire my successor and have him ready in waiting. I just wonder if he's going to do that. Yeah, with the Raiders.
Who was the other team?
He went and might have been the Jets.
How big of an influence do you think
he's already been there once, though?
Brady will have on this franchise since he's now has some ownership in it.
I don't know. Are you surprised that? I don't know. I guess there's no rules against it, but he works for as a broadcaster at Fox, and he's still doing. I don't know of anybody else that's ever done that.
Mm-hmm.
Been part owner of a team and also be in broadcasting, where you can, sometimes you might have to criticize officials, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're playing your TV part.
Well, I guess the big one everybody wonders about, how would you grade Dallas just promoting their OC, Brian Schottenheimer?
You've
looking for a bigger hire, or
you've heard the word puppet?
I'm your puppet. Yeah,
I mean that's basically what it's going to be.
Yeah,
right?
that was a song
seems like
back in the 60s.
Jason Garrett, Part 2.
Yeah. I'm your puppet.
I wish him luck, because I was always a fan of Marty Schottenheimer. Okay, And he was a great coach. I just don't know if it's, I guess you got to get a start somewhere.
Yes.
And they're going to have talent. They're going to have talent on the team.
It just seemed like a weird hire for Dallas.
Well, nobody wanted to go. It doesn't look like. For 2 or 3 weeks, everybody thought it would be Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
And it looks like Deion's staying right where he is. The Saints, the only team now without.
Yeah. And nobody wants that job.
Well, they do. I think it's done.
Is it?
I think it's just a coordinator off of one of these teams that's in the Super Bowl.
Because they
just
don't
know
have a
which
future.
one.
Cap space and everything.
If they're not talking to anybody at all, they have to already have pretty much a done deal with somebody that's on one of those two staffs.
Well, the Eagles, Kellen Moore is the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Is he in the
might
running
be.
for
that job? He is.
That's who the
He is.
drummer is.
Is she going? Yeah. Yes, I mean he is. That's probably who it is, and they're just waiting on the season to end.
Kellen Moore.
Yep. And fortunately for him, he would have probably been the Dallas one had he still been on that staff. But it's probably a blessing in disguise that he's not going to be associated there, where you don't get to make the decisions.
Well, I think the Jets get a good grade, right? Aaron Glenn. Everybody's on board with that one. And the Bears, they're on board with Ben Johnson.
Yeah. Everybody says that was the number one guy.
Yeah.
And,
Well, I think New England got the best available head coach.
Yeah, for their system and their franchise,
Help me.
Mike Vrabel.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
And then they brought Josh McDaniels back to run the offense.
The only thing that bothers me about Mike Vrabel, he did his first 2/3 of his time in Tennessee were really good.
Yeah.
What happened, though?
I don't know.
What
Last
happened?
3 years, they're lost.
I mean, I'm not going to say it was coaching because I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe he was not in charge of player personnel and somebody wasn't getting. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened, but it seemed like there were an awful lot of people after him, even though he let Tennessee slide.
They did slide
a little bit.
Few.
Yeah, the last couple of years they just that division at Tennessee and who else is in that thing? The Colts. That Jaguars. Yeah, you got a division like that. Who's the other? Who am I leaving out? Houston.
Yeah,
Houston. Mm-hmm. Houston right now is the king of that division.
Yeah,
but you got a division that's like that, and then you go look over there at the AFC West, and it's just loaded with 4 good teams and 4 quality coaches. You know, and
well, there's so many questions with the Jets. So, what are they going to do about Aaron Rodgers? How long will it take?
Well, now you switch to the Jets now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Titans, but yeah, there are a lot of questions with the Jets. I mean,
the Titans.
Yeah, he did hire his offensive coordinator yesterday. Wasn't it also somebody from the Lions, Brett? Can you look that up and see?
Is that the Jets new offensive?
The Jets' new offensive coordinator, I think, played a role. It wasn't Ben Johnson, obviously, but I think he played a role with the Lions.
Tanner Engstrand.
Tanner Engstrand is now the offensive coordinator for the Jets.
All right.
Don't know much about him, but did he not come out of the Lions organization?
Well, that sounds pretty good.
Can you find that? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I.
Yeah, I don't know.
Say. Okay. Let's see. Where is former Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy now? That comes from Rodney.
Wow.
That's
good question.
He's in college somewhere. He is out of college somewhere.
Yeah, Tanner Engstrom was the passing game coordinator for the Lions.
Passing game coordinator.
Well, wasn't he also Baltimore Ravens? No, Washington Redskins. Washington Commanders.
Now you're back to
Eric
Bieniemy.
Yeah, he was Washington's offensive coordinator.
KC.
Where is he today, Brett?
Where is he?
He is with a college somewhere.
UCLA. Offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator at UCLA. Took over that calling the plays there.
Chip Kelly.
Once Chip Kelly moved to
Ohio State.
Here's the question. I have no idea. Who's the head coach at UCLA?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Deshaun Foster.
Deshaun Foster, former player.
Yeah, former Panthers
former great running
back.
Yep. So there's your answer to that, Rodney. UCLA offensive coordinator there for Bieniemy.
Yep.
We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk. We've had a good time this morning, lots of conversation. Thank you, says Rodney. Thank you for listening. Thanks to everybody for listening and your participation as well, whether it be music or sports, whichever one you weighed in on. A lot of both. For Brett, Mike, I'm David. We'll see you next week on Sports Talk.